Thank you for attending this evening's lecture. We're going to begin with the philosophical foundations of the Neoplatonists. And never mind. Good evening. I'm going to start by playing something for you. Oh, you got to play too? No, I asked you. I'm sorry. We'll play duo later. Okay? I love you both. This is a song by George Gershwin. It's called Lady Be Good, as opposed to Gentlemen Be Bad. That's another story. Okay, how many people here are musicians? Okay, how many people are not musicians? Okay, we have primarily musicians. Okay, good. Those of you who are not musicians, pretend you are tonight, okay? Because this is primarily where we're going to be working primarily on learning how to perform at your best under pressure. And of course, what you're learning tonight about music is equally applicable to every area of your life. When I was 18 years old, I had stage fright that was so bad that before a performance, I would throw up for a week. It was ugly. It was not a pretty sight. All the food that went out, came out the way it went in. I could not sleep at all, and I would have these. My heart would race at 160 beats per minute, and they would wonder what was wrong. I think I said this in assembly. If I was going to be a professional musician, I would last maybe 6 months, and I would keel over. Well, I got over it. And now, whether I play in front of 10 people or 10,000 people, it doesn't matter. And in the process of 20 years of exploring this, I've learned a couple of things that I think would be of value to you. So what we're going to learn tonight is how many of you, when you perform, or when you take a test, or when you're in sports, or whatever, how many of you, every single time you do it, you're absolutely at your total best? Okay, good, you're in the right place. How many of you would like to be able to perform, whether it's in music or on tests or in sports or whatever, consistently at the top of your game every time you do that? If I could show you how to do that in the next hour and a half or so, will your time tonight be well spent? Yes? You sure? Okay, good. Everybody stand up, please. And stretch, please. Just stretch tonight. Okay, you're going to warm up a little bit. Take shoulders, roll forward, back. Make the face go. To be a peak performer, it's very important that all your silly muscles get exercise while you're going to do that. And take your head back forward, and then roll the head around like a big apple on a stem. Just roll the shoulders. Okay, good. Everybody turn to your left. Put your hands on the shoulder first. In front of you, you're like a nice shoulder rub. What? Oh, yes.
Like a birthday drink. You're not strong enough.
Now, right contact gently, please. Turn around, turn the favor, shoulders first. You don't want to break any bones. Everybody's up. Three simple steps tonight we're going to learn. The first one, what do you do? What do you see an athlete do when they are getting ready to go and compete in an event? What's the first thing the athlete does? Breathe. Okay, breathing is a good idea. That's wonderful. Everybody, thank you for reminding me. But everybody sit up, please. I'd like you to sit with your back straight. And put your hand so that your palm of your hand is right around the belly button area. Okay? And now I want you just to focus very simply on breathing into your hand. Okay? Do this for a few seconds. Just allow the breath to go into that area of the body. Most of us breathe too high in the chest. And a number of things happen when you breathe high in the chest. Number one, you don't get adequate oxygenation. Also, when you breathe high in the chest, it actually triggers the release of those hormones that trigger stress, adrenaline, cortisol, etc. And so by shifting your breathing, the location, the locus of your breathing, you literally are able to then shift your entire body's physiology, your autonomic nervous system into a more relaxed state. So just continue breathing in the belly. In a moment, you'll find yourself relaxing. Gently lifting off into sleep. Did you notice just a little bit of difference there? So breathing is really important. Good. What else do athletes do at the very beginning, before they actually go? If you're track and field, before you go to track, what do you do? Usually stretch. Good. You do that. What else do you do? You warm up. It wouldn't make any sense for you to jump into an event without warming up. Well, we can warm up our brains as well. What we're going to do first, like I said, there's three principles I'm going to share with you. The first one has to do with warming up. It's called neural priming. And what happens is, it's just like what we're going to be doing is, if for you to play or perform at your best, all of everything that you're doing in terms of peak performance is a habit. It's like learning to ride a bicycle or learning to walk when you're a child or anything like that. It's really a habit. So it's really important that you literally train your brain-mind system to do certain things on a consistent basis. And so what we call neural priming actually warms up the neurons so that they begin moving in the direction you want them to move in. It's like if you're in the forest and you walk through a forest, the first time there's not much of a path. You walk through that forest 100 times, you get a better path. So that's what neural priming or mental warming up is. So the first step for that is very, very simple. I'm going to play a couple of notes and you sing them back to me. See the contour of the notes going up and down, all right? So here's the... And now I want you to follow with your hand. I want you to show me with your hand how the notes go up and down, just in the air with your eyes closed. Listen to it and then sing along. Sing along with me, and as you're singing along with me, let your hands go up and down with contour of the melody simultaneously. So here we go. Ready, set, go. You're going to have an awesome experience, so hang in there, okay? One more time. Sing along. As you're singing, do the hand gesture. 1, 2, here we go. feel like you're singing it inside, okay, in your imagination. I'll play it and also gesture with your hands as I'm playing it and hear it inside. Sing internally along with the line I'm playing. Got it? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Experience of listening to my playing is different, right? How do you experience it differently that time? Don't all answer at once. Okay, how many of you noticed a difference when you listened to me from what we did before? Okay, what else was different? What else felt different? Yes, sir.
Before, when I didn't expect what you were going to do, that time I was talking until I was ready.
Okay, good. What else did you notice? What else did you notice? Okay, how many people experience the music is clearer? You had a stronger sense of following. Okay, good. Now, next thing, how many people are right-handed? Raise your right hand. How many people are left-handed? Raise your left hand. Okay, good. Whatever hands you raise, I want you to use the opposite hand. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to sing along, and I want you to gesture along with the line with your opposite hand. Okay, and it doesn't have to follow up and down, but I just want you to gesture along with your opposite hand. In fact, right now, I'd like you to gesture with your whatever your non-dominant hand is along with my speaking. So as I'm talking right now, follow what I'm saying with your non-dominant hand. And also make sure your non-dominant hand crosses over the middle of your body. Okay, so it's kind of crossing over. Now this sounds really weird, and it looks even weirder. But what it's actually doing is we're actually integrating the two parts of your brain so that the left and right hemispheres are talking to one another. What happens, a lot of the times when we perform, one part of our brain is turned off. Exactly. Okay? So now, what you're going to notice in a moment as you continue to follow me, you're listening to me in a different way and you're paying more attention. But what we're actually doing is we're literally waking up your neurons and firing we're creating new dendrites in your brain so that you communicate with yourself more easily. In just a moment, when I play music, you're going to notice that you hear the music much more fully. It's almost like the music's coming from inside you instead of me. And that's the first step to priming your neurons or warming up your brain. Does that make sense? Of course it doesn't make sense. I don't expect it to make sense to you yet, but it will in a moment. Now I'd like you to continue gesturing with your non-dominant hand as you sing along the line I play. Here we go. Sing out loud. How many of you are jazz students? Okay, how many of you are not jazz students? Okay, cool. You're going to have a new experience tonight then, all right? Now, something we do in jazz we call scat singing, all right? And that's what happens when you sing a line, like Ella Fitzgerald or Sarah Vaughan or something like that. What we're going to do, first of all, is we are going to talk about what I'd like to do is I'd like to have a scat conversation with somebody. So what I'm going to do is I'll start and you just respond to me. What I want you to do is I want you to open your mouth and let the sounds come out and trust that there's sounds inside you come. da. Blip, 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 blip. Blip, blip, blip. Ba-da-da-da. Let's go scooter, scooter, boop. Brap, 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 brap. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Exactly, okay. Now, the whole point is now I'd like you to find a partner beside who's A and B, real quick. Find a partner beside who's A and B. You don't have a partner, raise your hand. You don't have a partner, raise your hand. That chord means we move on, okay? Now, whoever is B is going to go first, all right? Whoever's B is going to go first. And here's what you're going to do. We're going to take 60 seconds or so, and you're going to have a scat conversation. You're going to talk back and forth in that particular language, making it up as you go along. And here's the catch. You make it up as you go along, and you also make really, really big gestures, okay? Okay, everybody stand up, please. Face your partner. On your mark, set, ready, go. Exaggerated gestures, okay? So, with both hands, make exaggerated gestures. Don't hit the person next to you.
I definitely quit. This is too much. I won't get out of my way.
How do you feel compared to how you felt 60 minutes? Anybody feel any different?
Happy.
How do you feel different? Well, I'm really self-conscious of that. How do you feel different? What was different?
I am amused.
You're amused. That's very good.
Yeah, Jeff.
You feel more relaxed. What else?
Loose.
Loose. Comfortable. What else? What else? I feel happy. That's good. What else? What else do you notice? Okay, now this is a little bit more difficult to apply from music to other things, but what you've done is these different exercises, the listening and the crossing the hands and the scat talking and everything, all they're doing is waking up different parts of your brain. So that your brain is actually a little bit more well-oiled now than it was a few minutes ago. So you're probably feeling a little bit more alert. It's probably a little bit easier to focus on what I'm saying. And if you want, you can even kind of start accompanying me with your hand as we were gesturing before. But that's just an easy way to focus. Now we're going to move into something more specifically musically. And I'm going to play this chord progression, which is called the blues progression. And everybody, I would like you to imagine very vividly your favorite musician. And you know, if you're not really as familiar with jazz or whatever, just fake it. You know, fake it, and you will go along with it just fine. I'd like to imagine your favorite musician, your favorite soloist playing a blues. Okay, and just hear it kind of in your mind as I accompany. All right, one, and I'll start with Now's the Time. So we'll sing that together, and then I'm going to do what's called accompanying. And just hear in your mind's ear your favorite player play. 1, 2, here we go. Just hear in your mind's ear your favorite player. Pantomime, please, hands, very important. That's good. Everybody stand up, face your partner. Now this time we're going to break four. Then person A starts, and you're going to sketching four measures, and then person B will sketching four measures, and go back and forth. Now here's the thing that's important to remember. Number one, very important. Make sure that you pantomime with both hands as you sing. This has to do with activating all your brain cells really well. Number two, pretend there's nobody watching, okay? Pretend there's nobody watching. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. I need much more gesture. 1, 2, 3, 4. About the quality of your lines. What are you noticing about them as we do this deeper and deeper and deeper? Are you noticing anything changing? What? What's that? They're improving. What else do you notice specifically?
More imaginative.
Alertness, what's that? A little longer, what else?
A lot clearer.
What's that?
A lot clearer.
Clearer, what else? Yes, sir.
More innate.
More innate, okay, more natural, more organic. Okay, good, what else?
More gay.
Okay, you're not so nervous. Okay, good, what else? What else do you notice about it? More connected, good, what else? What else? Anything else? Anything else you notice? Are you noticing the lines are more interesting? Okay, good. Now, the first thing, so this is the first step. To warm up your brain and your mind in some way. One of the best ways to do it is scat singing. If you're, to warm up all of you, to warm up your body by stretching, to warm up your mind and your body and your thoughts, musically specifically, to warm up your concentration by the gesturing and the listening. It's very important to do that with the non-dominant hand because it activates both sides of your brain. And this is something that you can do for any particular skill. The idea is to warm up your brain in some way before you get started. Now the second principle is also very, very simple. I'm going to demonstrate it this way. I'm going to be two people. Well, I'm only one person, but I'm going to pretend to be two. And I want you to just notice what's different about the two. And they are both performing. They're about to perform something. Here's person number one. Hello, my name is Harry Pickens. first movement of the Bach Suite in G major. First number 2. My name is Harry Pickens. I'm going to play the first movement of the Bach French Suite in G major. What's the difference in the two?
You played more notes the second.
Yeah, okay. One point for you. Well, okay. But from the time I walked here to the time I got to the piano, what was the difference? Thank you. Pardon me. Could you tell that the first dude was going to be in trouble? You could tell.
He was holding himself up.
I mean, yeah, it was really good that he didn't play because it would have probably made us all suffer. So, why, one of the most important things I discovered, actually a guy named William James, philosopher, who was at Harvard 100 years ago. William James, you ever heard of him? William James, some of you have. William James was really nervous about speaking in public. And he was a brilliant philosopher and psychologist, but he got scared every time he spoke in front of other people. And so he was talking to a friend of his, and the friend said, "Hey, Bill," I don't know if he called him Bill, I just assumed William Bill, etc. He said, "Well, why don't you just pretend you're confident?" And James said, "Well, that sounds logical. Yeah, probably won't work, but I'll try." And so he actually went about pretending and moving his body as though he were fully confident. And over a period of time, he became confident because the body and the brain and the mind are all interconnected. You probably know this, but a woman named Candace Pert wrote a book called Molecules of Emotion. And what she discovered in that book, or what the discovery that she talked about in that book, was that every cell of our body communicates instantaneously with our brain. And every cell of our body has receptors for neurotransmitters, the various kinds of hormones that control our brain functions and our emotions and so forth. And what that means is that the body and the brain are really one system. They're one, there's no separation between the two. And so by shifting your body, you can shift the way you feel, and you can send your brain different signals, all right? And so if you walk and you are taking on a physiology of being nervous, then you'll feel more nervous. On the other hand, if you walk and hold and breathe and hold yourself as though you're confident, then that tends to happen. So I want to just show you how this works more specifically. Everybody, I want you to sit. This won't require much change for some of you, but I want you to sit right now as though you were really bored and tired. Just show me. Some people don't move at all. Now notice how you're breathing. Notice how your eyes are. Notice how you feel. Notice what it's like. Some of you, this is a very common state. Now, in a moment, I'm going to play a chord. And this chord is going to be a chord that the Russian composer Alexander Scriabin called the mystic chord. He believed that when enough people sung or played this chord, that it would instantly trigger humanity's enlightenment. Well, he was wrong, but it's an interesting chord. The moment I play that chord, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to immediately sit as though you were more energized than you have ever been in your entire life. Okay, the moment you hear the mystic chord, just sit as though you were more energized than you've ever been. All right, here we go. Okay, set, go. Too slow, bored and tired. Go back. You're really bored. Okay. As soon as you hear the chord, the instant you hear the chord, boom, we're there. Ready? Set. Okay, now let's get back to the energized. Now, stay there. I want you to freeze right there. And now I would like you to show with your eyes that you have more energy than you've ever had before. And notice in your breathing. Yeah. I mean, pretend I'm going to tell you like a really, really dirty joke. I won't. Now notice how your body feels. You will probably notice in a moment or two, if you haven't already, that you feel a little bit more alert, more focused, just by shifting your body so that your body becomes more alert. Now, one of the greatest secrets of peak performers of all disciplines, sports and everything, stay here, okay? Keep it in your eyes. Keep it in your eyes. See, all of a sudden, what I'm saying becomes the most fascinating, interesting thing you've ever heard in your life. So what happens is peak performers in all disciplines know how to condition their body so that when they are in a performance or engaged in sports or whatever, they can shift the body to the state they want. And therefore, when you shift the body to the state you want, you literally tell your emotions in your brain to be different. Does that make sense? Okay, good. So this principle I call fake till you make it. Because it basically means that you allow your body to go to that place automatically. And the more you allow your body to go to that place, the more your brain and your emotions follow you. Right? So the next time you're experiencing nervousness about performing or anything, get the feeling in your body that you already are doing it at your absolute best. And so, just to give you another example of that, I'd like you to find a partner and decide who's A and B, and sit facing your partner. I'd like you to think about a time. Now, if you're a musician, this will be about music. If you're a non-musician, it might be about another area in which you want to perform consistently at your best. It might be sports, or it might be some other area. But I would like you to think about a time when you performed absolutely at your best. It could be yesterday or last week or 3 or 5 years ago. But think about a time in your own experience where you were absolutely at your best. Okay? And just remember that time right now. When you find one, just raise your hand. And when you have one in your memory, just raise your hand. You can put it right back down just to show me. But just find an experience. Think of a time when you performed really at your best. Okay, great. Here's what we're going to do. Decide who's A and B. Y'all remember it was back in 1948. And here's what we do. We start with person B. You're going to take about 2 minutes, person B, and I would like you to describe your peak performance experience, person A. And here's how you describe it. If you've ever been around little kids when they have an experience and they come back and they're really excited and they tell you about it and they're so vivid in the telling it feels like you're there, that's what we want to do. So you want to tell your experience, whatever it was, to your partner so clearly and so powerfully and so vividly that they get the experience of being there with you. Okay? And you have about 2 minutes to do that. So we start with person B. Describe your experience with person A. Person A, all you do is you just listen. Okay? Ready, set, go. Person brain-mind system to remember and recreate peak performance more clearly. Here's the next step. We begin again with person A. You describe your experience once again, this time with two distinctions. Number one, both of you describe with your eyes closed, all right? Vividly re-experiencing it and sharing it with your partner so they begin to experience it as well. Number two, describe the experience as though it's happening in the present tense. So when you were, instead of saying, I was here and I felt like this, I am, for example, if I'm describing experience, I'm sitting at the piano and I'm playing Lady Be Good and I feel the feeling of music flowing through me and it's really flowing easily and I notice that as I watch my hands, this happens, etc. So you're describing it present tense with your eyes closed. And as with your eyes closed, I'd like you to allow yourself to see it and hear it and feel it as though it's happening now. Okay? We'll start with person A. Pardon me. Both people have their eyes closed. You might lean a little bit closer so you can really hear. No, not yet. Not yet. On your mark. We have anybody without the partner maybe two. Okay, anybody else without the partner? Okay, you guys. All right, here we go. Person A, ready? On your mark. Person A first. Vivid, present tense, eyes closed. Ready, set, go. Vividly as you can, everybody eyes closed. Partner B or other partner, ready, set, go.
Geddes. Here's Geddes. Geddes isn't doing the thing. He's not working. Oh, I gotta get this on tape. Geddes cheating. Geddes cheating. Not doing the work.
I just want to make sure everybody understood that you're supposed to be doing this in groups of two. Very important you do it in groups of two, one-on-one, all right, for the purpose of experience. So those people who are kind of close to make sure you're in partners, all right? What do you notice about the experience as you describe it with your eyes closed as though it's happening now? What do you notice?
More details come back.
More details come back. What else do you notice? Yes. Easier imagining it. What else? Is it becoming more real?
You're less self-conscious, sort of realistic.
Say again?
You feel like you're there.
How many people feel like they're there? We're able to get closer to that. Because what else do you notice as you describe it more? And what else do you notice as you describe it more? Okay, so what do you mean? Okay, it becomes clearer. Good. I want you to find a new partner, sit across from them. Okay, new partner, sit across from them. Don't have a partner stand up. Don't have a partner stand up. Very important that you're
James, play my part.
Don't sit on that. Are you crazy?
Would you
Okay, we got somebody here with... Okay, you don't have a partner. Anybody else not have a partner? Okay, you'll be my partner. Just bring your chair. Bring it right there. I'll be right. Okay, now, next step. Same experience. Same experience. Eyes closed, present tense. This time you describe it this way. Every sentence begins with one of these words. Every sentence begins with the word I. And then after the word, I see, I hear, I feel, I notice, etc. Going through all of the different senses. I see, I hear, I feel, I notice, every sentence. And then making the description more and more and more vivid. Okay? We start with person, whoever wants to start first, the first person. And both eyes closed, first person as though it's happening now. I see, I hear, I notice, etc. Go as deeply as you can into the experience. All right? Ready, set, on your mark. Ready, set, go. Please pause where you are and switch. Switch. Another person. I see, I feel, I hear, present tense described. Ready, set, begin. Everybody bring the chairs back facing this way. What did you discover that? What did you discover in those events? A lot more vivid. How many people found it more vivid? What else did you discover? Yes.
Trying to play part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because you weren't a summation part. Thank you.
More details.
More details, what else?
Kind of meet strings.
Okay, after a while, the flow gets going. What else did you notice?
I wish the place where it was.
Say again?
The place where it was.
The place where it was. Okay,
Well, like, I got more that feeling that you can't, like, really express, but
okay, good. What else? Yes, sir.
Found that it wasn't really about how people were perceiving what I was doing, but how I perceived what they were perceiving.
Good point. Good. What else did you notice? What else did you notice?
I can remember more.
Say again?
I can remember more.
You can remember more of it. Good. What else?
You could feel what my part was.
You feel what your partner was saying more. What else?
I like my description was more vague.
Your description was more vague.
Yeah.
Wasn't as clear.
Yeah.
Okay. You mean?
I started out with like I see, and my description was more about like hearing.
Oh, okay. I may have not been clear enough with the instructions. I wanted just I see, I hear in any of those, as long as you start with I and using any of the senses. What else did you notice? Anything else? Okay, good. Now I want you with the person next to you, just one person, brainstorm for a couple of minutes. What are the most important things that were going on within you and in your environment that contributed to that being a peak performance? Okay, it might have been you were really prepared. It might have been you were in front of people that you really cared about. It might have been you didn't get any sleep the night before, whatever. But what were the 2 or 3 factors that made that were most significant in contributing to that being a peak performance? Okay, discuss with the person next to you just for a couple minutes. See if you can identify sure.
Someone with that.
Okay, what'd you get? So what are some of the things you came up with? Preparation, a lot of it, you mean? Okay, what else?
Temperature?
Temperature, okay.
Weather?
What do you mean, energy?
It's like something in the air.
Okay, it's one of those intangibles we can't quite describe. Well, what else is there?
Overcoming the odds.
Overcoming the odds, okay. The common quest, good, what else? Now, they may be totally different for different people, you know. What?
Lack of sleep.
Lack of sleep, okay. Sometimes not having enough sleep kind of turns off the conscious minds, the filters that otherwise would get in the way. What else?
I stopped caring about the outcome.
Okay, very important. You weren't as concerned about the outcome. You're just in the process, yes.
My family was there to support me.
Found that there's support, yeah, cheering section. It can be
Uninhibited.
Say again?
Uninhibited.
Uninhibited. What else? What else did you notice?
Unexpected audience support.
Unexpected audience support. Okay, that's good. What else? Any other factors, you know?
People before your performance.
Pardon me?
Meeting cool people.
Meeting cool people before your performance?
Like the people in the concert.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I love that. I love sometimes when I'm doing a concert, getting there about 15 or 20 minutes before and just sitting in the audience and just kind of going and meeting people and then running up on the stage. They don't even know I'm playing, you know? What else? Yes?
Not having an audience at all.
Not having an audience at all. Okay, good. What else? Anything else? What else? Enjoying what you're playing. So,
Getting a good reaction afterwards.
getting a good reaction afterwards. Okay. Now, here's the point. We've talked about so far 3 different things. The first has to do with warming yourself up. The second has to do with your physiology and physical body. The third, this that's really important, is discovering your peak performance blueprint. Okay, and you discover your peak performance blueprint, that those particular conditions that allow you to perform at your best, by going back in your memories, the times you performed your best, and practicing your memories. You know, the more you practice remembering a specific event, the deeper, metaphorically speaking, the deeper the grooves there are in the brain, the easier it is for you to go down that path the next time. And so, one of the most powerful things you can do is to keep a log. I had kept a log for years of my best performances. I can tell you about a time in Metz, France in 1984. We were playing Footprints, and I can tell you about a time in like 1982, and I can tell you about earlier this week sitting at the piano. I can tell you about just earlier tonight sitting at the piano in one of the practice rooms when I was playing, and I immediately have a multi-sensory vivid memory of, at this point, probably hundreds of different performances, all that were really on a certain level. So almost instantly, I can sit at the piano, and I can go back to that place and immediately feel what it feels like to perform at that level. And that's just a matter of practicing the memories. Okay, now that's a really powerful thing that you can do. Make a list of these experiences and take maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day and just remember them and describe them. The reason we describe is when you describe, 2 things happen. Number 1, you're connecting the hemispheres of the brain. You're connecting the visual part of the brain with your capacity to articulate language, which then also primes your brain more effectively. The other thing you're doing is it forces you to go deeper into the experience. And you can't just stay on the surface. The more you do that, the more you practice that, you'll be amazed. You'll wake up one day and all of a sudden you're at the instrument or you're doing what you're doing, and it feels like deja vu because you've practiced those memories and you practice recreating those positive feelings. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Everybody stand up. And just stretch. And move your legs a little bit and shake your arms out. Yeah, that's good. Say, oh. About a friend of mine named Marilyn King. Marilyn went to the Olympics twice as a pentathlete. Any of you who are athletes know that doing that requires sitting in 5 different events. And she was getting ready to go the 3rd time, this was 1980, for the Olympic trials. And Marilyn was in a car accident, and she had got a bulging disc in her lower back. It was really painful, which meant she was in tremendous pain. She could hardly even move from side to side without pain racking through her entire body. But she was determined to go to the Olympic trials. This was in November 1979. The trials were in June 1980. So what she did is, in bed, she would watch videos of great performers, and she would watch them forwards and backwards for hours and hours. And she did this for months when she was almost literally paralyzed in a great deal of pain. A couple of months before the trials, she started to, and she's in a wheelchair, she can hardly even walk. What she does is she goes, she sits on the track, outside the track. And she spends 3 or 4 hours a day visualizing herself going through all events, every day, without any physical rehearsal. You know, this is now for 5 or 6 months. She does this every day over and over and over and over and over and over. She finally gets to the point where she is strong enough to actually move around physically. So she actually physically rehearses for about a week before the trials, but she's done, at this point, 5 or 6 hours of mental rehearsal constantly. Well, she went to the Olympic trials, and she placed second in the trials, next to somebody you probably heard of, Jackie Joyner-Kersee. And what that tells us, what that means, is that the mental blueprint, the mental image you have of yourself as a performer, we all have a mental self-image of ourselves performing. If you think about yourself right now performing in front of a group or an audience or whatever those images are, that's your mental blueprint. And to change that is perhaps the most powerful thing that you can do, because when you change the dominant images that you're feeding into your mind, then your body and your actions naturally follow. And so learning how to create a powerful mental blueprint is probably the most powerful and important thing that you can do. I used to, like I said, had terrible stage fright. I remember one performance, this was like in the early 1980s, and it was a feature performance. And I remember spending a lot of time every day just with my eyes closed. This was when I still used to get really nervous. With my eyes closed, imagining vividly myself performing at my best over and over and over and over. And when I got to the performance, it was like deja vu. It was absolutely like I'd been there before, and everything went exactly as planned. How many of you are involved in sports? Any kind? Okay, have you used mental rehearsal in sports? How many people have used mental rehearsal in some way in their life? Okay, give me an example. How have you used it, and what's it done for you? Anybody?
I've visualized just playing well before.
Okay. Good. What else?
Be helpful.
Okay. Yeah.
Parts of the 100-meter dash, how to run or anything like that.
Okay, good. How else have you used it? Yes.
When somebody is showing me something, or
Yeah.
even visualizing myself doing the same thing
Yes.
at that moment, I'm normally able to do it exact or similar, almost exactly similar to.
Good. Good. How else have you used mental rehearsal? How else? Somebody else? Yes, ma'am.
I remember I spent I usually got lost in courses. So I go visit the course and I visualize the course so that way I don't get lost.
And does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Get lost. What else? Anybody else use mental rehearsal in any way? Yes, sir.
I visualize playing golf, golf balls over and over again.
Good. Anything else? Anything else? Well, visualization is really, really powerful. It's used not only for athletes and not only for sports, not only for music and performance, also in terms of even the body. And there's been a tremendous amount of research in the last 20 years or so on something called psychoneuroimmunology, which is how the mind interacts with the body. And there's a story of a young man. I don't remember his name, but he wrote a book called I Choose Life. And he was 12 years old, diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. And everybody, the doctors kind of gave it up and so forth. And one night, he got an image in his mind of, he could see the tumor in his inner imagination. And he started imagining Star Wars destroying the tumor, and he did that over and over and over. And about a year, after he did this for a year, he spent time every day doing it for a year. He went up to his mom and he said, "Mom, it's gone." She says, "What are you talking about?" Because of course the doctor said it was inoperable, it's only a matter of time, etc. He said, "No, the tumor's gone." She says, "How do you know?" He says, well, my Star Wars, we got rid of it, it's finally gone. And so she takes him to the doctor and it's gone. And so there are now hundreds of cases in medical literature of the dissolving of tumors and the healing of various aspects of the body because the person images consistently and deeply. And they also accompany this with meditation and prayer and their own spiritual disciplines and so forth. And so the power of the images we construct in our mind is much vaster than we might imagine. I don't know if any of you have heard of Anthony Robbins. Tony Robbins, big motivator. A few years ago, I had the opportunity of walking on hot coals. This was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, at one of these firewalk seminars. And one of the things that we did, it was really, really cool because there were from me to Mr. Seneca was this, these hot coals in there, I don't know, a couple thousand degrees or whatever. And we spent about an hour visualizing ourselves going through it. And then when it got there, I was like, okay, my toes are not going to be toasty. I'm not going to fry to a crisp. I'm going to walk through here. And it worked. It worked exactly as imaged, which was just another example of how this works. So what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to take you through a couple of guided imagery exercises that are designed specifically, number one, to relax the body and condition and calm the mind and quiet the mind, and to help you imagine vividly yourself performing at your best. And the process and the procedure I'm going to take you through the guided imagery you can use for any discipline, use in any subject, use for preparing for a test, for sports, anything. And what we will do is we will start by closing our eyes, focusing on our breathing. And then after a moment or two of breathing, I will take you into an imaginary garden where you'll imagine being in a place in nature that you enjoy very much. After that, we'll leave the garden and we'll go to a theater in which there will be a screen, a white screen in front of you. And you will at that point begin seeing a movie of yourself performing at your best. Okay? And it could be an upcoming performance, it could be kind of an arbitrary performance or an ideal, whatever. But you're going to watch yourself, and then at a certain point you're going to step into the movie. So instead of watching yourself on the screen, you're going to be inside. So if you're playing an instrument, you will feel the instrument in your hands. If you're involved in a sport or some other kind of activity, it's like you're actually there. And then I will also give you a couple of affirmations. Now, affirmations are simply words that you use that repattern your subconscious mind in harmony with the image. I perform easily and effortlessly, or with music, one of my favorite ones is I trust the music within me and easily allow it to flow through me. So I'll give you a couple of those to choose from. And then we will let that image go and return to the garden and then back to the breath. So that'll be the process. It's probably about 15, 20 minutes or so. And this will allow you to deepen your awareness and your capacity to get into a peak performance state at will. All right, you ready? Okay, good. Everybody, please just sit with your back straight. And say, I'm ready.
I am ready.
Now, the first thing we do is close our eyes and just begin paying attention to your breath. Simply noticing the breath as it moves in and out easily. And just bringing your awareness fully and completely to the breath. The in and out. The natural rhythm of the breath. The effortlessness of the breath. The evenness of the breath. And you notice that the in-breath and the exhale are very natural, very easy, very flowing. And it's easy to focus on the breath and also become very aware of the sound of my voice. And so just allowing yourself to inhale and hold just for a moment. And then release on an exhale on the side. And once again, a gentle inhale, breathing in, and holding just for a second or two, and then out on a long, deep sigh. And then bringing your attention back gently to the breath. Noticing how easy it is to focus. Noticing the mind becoming calm and quiet, the body relaxed and at ease. And so now let's imagine that we are entering a garden or a place in nature, your own favorite place in nature, and it might be a mountain or a lake or the ocean or a meadow. Whatever place feels really safe and secure and calm and wonderful for you. But allow yourself to find yourself in that place in nature right now. And notice the sounds, the smells, the wind gently brushing against your cheek. What do you see around you? What are the colors around you? What do you hear? What do you sense? What do you notice? And just allow yourself to be fully present in this very safe, wonderful place in nature. Just for a moment. And notice the feelings of comfort and calm that accompany you here. And so simply allowing yourself to enjoy this gentle place in nature, feeling really good and relaxed and at ease. Good. Very good. Now you can allow the images to fade while the feeling of comfort and calm and safety remains. Releasing the images of this place in nature, but feeling that sense of safety and calm and ease and relaxation here and now. And now you notice in front of you a screen. You find yourself in this theater of the imagination, and in front of you is a beautiful screen, just like a movie screen. And in just a moment you will see on that screen yourself in an upcoming performance situation. It could be musical performance or performing in some other way, in some other context. But in just a moment you will see a movie of yourself performing absolutely at your best, better than you have ever imagined previously. You will see it clearly on the screen, hearing the sounds, noticing the images and sights. And so allow yourself now to begin to see this movie, watching yourself performing at your absolute best. If this is a musical context, you see yourself on the stage, you see the instrument, you see others you're playing with, and you notice how easily and effortlessly the music is flowing. For whatever your desired performance is, you notice it now in this movie. As I remain silent for just a moment or two, you have all the time you need in your own inner sense of time to view this movie of perfect performance right here and now. Let's begin. Enjoy the sounds, the sights. Notice how good it feels to perform at your best. A wonderful feeling of satisfaction, total confidence, absolute self-assurance. Noticing all of that. Now let those images become clearer and brighter, the colors brighter, turning the volume up just a bit, allowing the movie to become more vivid as you observe yourself performing at your best. Just notice it. Good. Notice the smile on your face, feeling of satisfaction, confidence, self-assurance. Now in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I get to 3, you inside the movie and experience this peak performance from the inside out. If you're playing an instrument, you feel the instrument in your hands. If you're involved in some other activity, you're seeing through your own eyes fully. So on the count of three, step into the movie and experience it fully from the inside. 1, 2, 3. Step into the movie. Now you are in the movie, experiencing through your own eyes, feeling through your own body. Notice it's music, how easily the music is flowing through you. Hear the sounds, images, feelings. Every cell in your body is alive and resonant, radiant with this peak performance, feeling of confidence. Hearing it, feeling it, noticing it. Enjoying it from the inside out. Allow the colors to become a little brighter. Sounds just a little stronger. The feeling just a little more intense. Noticing how good it feels to perform at your best. You say these words alone in your silence of your inner mind. I am a peak performer. I easily perform at my best. In music, I trust the music within me and easily allow it to flow through me. I trust my instincts and easily perform at my best. I am a peak performer. I am supremely confident. And so you are, and you have seen your own reality and experienced it now. And so now allowing the images to fade and preserving the feeling of satisfaction and confidence and fulfillment and self-assurance. Letting those images go for just a moment. Fully feeling the sense of satisfaction. Accepting that you have just seen your own reality. You have just begun the process of reconditioning your body and mind for peak performance. From this moment on, every time you are in a performance situation, you will find a new surge of confidence, self-assurance, and freedom. In musical situations, you will find that you are one with the music and with the instrument. In other circumstances where you want to perform at your best, you find that it's easier and easier to perform at your best. Because you are the master of your life. And as you shift the images that you hold, the words that you speak, the feelings that you express more and more mastery from this moment forward. And so bringing your attention gently, easily, once again, to the screen, seeing the screen in front of you in the movie theater of your imagination. Once again, we're going to see this movie from beginning to end of you performing at your absolute best. This time the colors are even clearer, the sounds more definite, the feelings more complete. So watch yourself right now performing absolutely at your best while I remain silent for a moment. See it, hear it, feel it, taste it, touch it. Enjoy. Now on the count of three, step into the movie. 1, 2, 3. Step into the movie. See it, feel it, see it through your own eyes. Just allow those feelings to wash over you of confidence, satisfaction, fulfillment, success. Performing better than you have ever imagined before. Total confidence, ease, silent place in your mind. Yes. 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 Releasing the images. Containing the good feeling. Saying these words along with me in your mind. I am a peak performer. I perform at my very best. I am supremely confident. I trust the music within me and easily allow it to flow through me. I perform at my best. Here and now. And gently bring your attention back to your breath. Noticing the easy and effortless inhale and exhale. The gentle rising and falling of the chest. The calm mind and relaxed body. Feeling good. Recognizing that you have given yourself the gift of your own greatest self. And that from this moment forward, every performance is a peak performance. From this moment forward, you experience greater confidence, greater self-assurance, greater ease in all your activities and in all your heart's desires. And so in just a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. The count of 5, your eyes will open, you'll be fully awake and alert and aware, feeling wonderful, remembering completely everything that you've experienced, and experiencing a surge of confidence, satisfaction, fulfillment, and joy. So coming up now, 1, 2, fully present, aware. 3, fully present, here and now. 4, on the count of 5, your eyes will open, fully alert, awake, and aware. 5, open your eyes, awake, alert, and aware. 5, open your eyes, awake, alert, and aware, here and now. So take just a moment and stretch. And yawn. Feel good? Good? Okay, take about 30 seconds of this. Share anything you want to share with your partner about your experience. First thing.
Is that for your charge? Is that for
So who has anything that they'd like to share? What did you notice? How many people on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being hardly any awareness of images at all, 10 being images so powerful almost like they're real? How many people are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Okay. What would you like to share about the experience? Was it good?
Definitely listen.
Okay. Are you back? Tell me more.
It's just, I wasn't necessarily, I was seeing images, but they weren't particularly vivid. But I was just in a place where I was just so relaxed that I felt like, I felt like I was doing something every way.
That's good. That's good. What else? What else did you notice? Yes.
As I started to get nervous because of the performance, it took like
about when you stepped into it? Was it easier then?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's still, I don't know, still wasn't like the way, I guess it's just a matter of,
That's another piece of practice also. How many people are pianists? Okay, there's one famous classical pianist named Walter Giesecke who wrote a book on piano technique. And what he did is he actually memorized pieces completely before he ever played them. Okay, Glenn Gould, those of you who've heard of Glenn Gould, the Canadian pianist, also did the same thing. He learned everything mentally first before it was played the first time. And so by the time he actually got around to playing it, everything was polished in the execution because the body already knew exactly what to do. And I would suggest that one of the things you might do is take the score. And as you're reading the score, also imagine yourself in the performance, away from the instrument.
what if like when you're practicing it, like after I'm practicing this piece, I just can't get the sound out yet that I want, no matter how much that I practice it. Maybe it's just technique.
It's probably technique, but I would suggest that you spend as much time practicing it mentally as you do with the instrument. And you can also do, I would very often, as I would practice, I'd take maybe, well, I'll do like block. And I'll image it again. And then I'll image it again. You know, and so you practice the image, and then you practice the physical, and you practice the image, and you practice the physical, and eventually they become close together. So that's something else. Any other observations?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine screen it, but I could imagine myself in the same room, like watching.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you may not have a clear visual image, but the idea is that you see or experience yourself, and then you go into the experience. Anything else? Yes, sir.
It's kind of annoying, it's on the screen, and I couldn't see my face, I can only see like my back.
Okay.
It's not, it's like no matter how hard I try, I don't see my back.
And for me, that's opposite. I could see my face, but I couldn't see
Well, I'm sure there's like some really deep psychological explanation for that, but I won't try to go into it. But when you got into it, it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Anything else? Anything else?
I wasn't nervous at all.
You weren't nervous at all. Good. How many people found your nervousness evaporated? Pretty much. Okay, cool. Good. Before we wrap things up, I would like you to, just with your partner once again, share the most important 3 things you learned tonight. Okay? Most important 3 things you learned tonight about the performance.
I feel like I also learned, and I think that I feel you know, like yeah, or like seeing myself as
I really do
Okay, real quick review. What'd you learn? What's one important thing you learned? Anybody?
Mental preparation.
What's that? Mental preparation. What else?
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Okay, what else?
Focus on breathing.
Okay, good. Brett. What else? What else did you discover for yourself? Anything else? There were a couple more things you talked about. Yes, sir.
Just visualizing your success when you play.
Okay, visualizing it more and more, making it a habit. What else?
focus more on the experience. That's what you're doing.
Okay, what else? Okay, good. We're practicing your memory of the positive experiences. What else? Anything else? What will you do differently tomorrow as a result of tonight?
Be more relaxed when you're doing something that requires any concentration.
Okay. What else? Yeah.
Well, don't just be practicing like the notes right there, but like having that mental image in your head and really driving to get to that mental state.
Good. Anything else? Yes, sir.
I relax, I'm enjoying it.
Okay. Good. 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 absolutely. Good. Anything else? Any questions before we wrap things up? Any other questions? Okay, you have any announcements?
Just about, again, if anybody wants to purchase CDs, Harry has 2 CDs. He does, what do you have, 1 or 2?
Yeah, I have maybe 3 or 4 of these here now, but...
You can come up and see me, you can sign up, and we'll order them, and they'll be in within a day or 2. Also, if anybody wants a CD by T.C. Lyle, Guenya, she sent some up, so I have some, and you have a...
Also, I have a 4-cassette set that has guided imagery for musicians, and they're exercises like the ones we just did with professionally recorded, and those are available too, and if you want a set of those, you can see, let's just send a quote to us, and it'll be $25 for the tapes. Yes. Yes, your question, yes.
When you perform, who are you performing?
Oh, God, that's a great question. It depends. I mean, I do different. What am I performing for? I'm performing for the divine spark in all of you. That's way I can. Let me explain that. Because I mean, I don't want to get into a long thing, but I would. It's like the reason that I play the piano now is different from what it used to be. It used to be because I wanted to be like the baddest piano player in the world, you know, this kind of stuff. It used to be because the reason I play music now is to connect with people and to communicate and to express joy, period. And for me, playing music is part of my spiritual practice, and it's part of connecting with that source of joy and that love, and creation and everything. And so when I play, that's what it's about. And so I'm playing to the Creator, and I'm playing to that part of you that is one with what I am, that we're all part of. And that's kind of abstract. That's the best way I can describe it. Like playing the piano for me is a form of prayer, a form of meditation, a form of service, or whatever, and that's what it's about. So ideally, it's like I'm playing from my heart to your heart. Yes, ma'am.
Before, when you were always nervous, who did you feel like you were performing for that?
Oh man, I was the most neurotic person in the world. I mean, just like mystery. It was all about, I think I was always, one of the things I found when I studied peak performers perform to express, not to impress. Okay, they perform to express the beauty of the music or whatever, not to impress others. And I think I was really preoccupied with what other people thought. I mean, that was really important. And I finally got to the point where that wasn't as important. And the most important thing for me is connecting heart to heart with other human beings. So that's different. Yeah.
In your before your practice sessions, do you actually spend time to sort of get mentally prepared?
I have a whole bunch of different things I do. I had an experience a couple of years ago where I was really, really sick because I lived in a house that had poisonous mold, so I actually had some cognitive problems, which I'm still working through. I'm about 60% of what I would consider my normal capacity, and so I lost the ability to play the piano for a little while. It would take me 10 minutes to find a C major chord. I'll probably tell you guys the story another time, but it was really traumatic and very difficult. And so I do a lot more exercise than I used to because I have to literally warm up my brain in a different way. And so some of you might have seen me, I'll do this, which obviously sends more blood to the brain, and I'll do cross lateralizations with my non-dominant hand and everything. This literally fires different circuits in my brain, so that then when I sit to the piano, what I play is much more spontaneous and less patterned. So I mean, that would be another seminar, but I have probably a half dozen specific things that I do for neuropriming that warm me up and get me into a certain state.
Even for practice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, because it's all the same. So, anything else? Well, I'll give you an option. Do you want? I mean, it's almost 8:30, and we could play another tune, or you can just go. What do you want? Would you like for us to play something else? Okay. Question is. Yeah. What is it?
Do you play You Know I Got Your Back?
Urudi. Thank